Comic Hero Special Report. I'm Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Now, in between the times of episodes 56 and 57, I've actually bought 7 books outside of Clint's Comics. And I've been kind of lazy about, either lazy or sick about when it came to doing the special report, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I bought 7 books. 3 of them were from Second and Charles in Bossier City, and 4 of them were from Books A Million in Monroe, Louisiana. And I want to go ahead and reveal those right now. First up is Star Wars Princess Leia number 2. Now, this miniseries actually takes place only a few seconds after the first Star Wars movie that came out in 1977, Episode 4, New Hope. And in this one, Princess Leia, along with R2, and then this soldier right here, who's actually one of the rebel fighters, who they go after Darth Vader themselves, and one thing I learned about this one, she like Princess Leia was also from the planet Alderaan, and it ended with them going after him, and it's a 5-part miniseries, and I can't wait to read it. Oh, and Michelle Prector, if you're watching this, let me know how you like issue number 1. All right, next up is Legendary Star-Lord number 10. This is chapter 9 of the Black Vortex story arc, which I still haven't gotten around to read, and I'm sorry, folks. There's just so many books that I'm still trying to get around to read. I mean, because I'm trying to get caught up with reading other books, and then I have other things that need to be done. But please be patient with me. All right, up next is Uncanny X-Men number 31. Now, I've just gotten caught up with number 30. I just read this one, and judging by this cover, it's probably going to be excuse me, Havoc versus Cyclops. And it's not going to be pretty. Brother versus brother. We know who's the good one and who's the evil one. Like I can tell you right now. Havoc's the good one, and Cyclops is the evil one. Well, he has evil intentions, rather. Alright, up next is New Avengers number 31. Now, I still haven't gotten caught with this, but this suggests that this is the Grim Reaper. And I guess he's coming to pay the Illuminati Avengers a visit for their sins. Oh, this is also a prelude issue to Secret Wars, which starts in Marvel next month. So if you're planning on reading that, stick to your guns, because it's supposed to be very good. All right, up next is Wonder Woman number 40. This is the last issue of the book before Convergence was just started yesterday. So the next issue of number 41 won't be coming out until June. But the mini-series to it, but I mean there's an annual that's coming out to it. It's going to be the final chapter of the story arc, which is introducing the new 52 version of Donna Troy. And let me tell you, it is awesome. Alright, up next is Guardians Team Up number 3. This is chapter 6 of the Black Vortex story arc. And like I said earlier, with Legendary Star-Lord number 9, or whichever one that was, Legendary Star-Lord number 10. I still haven't started with the Black Vortex, but I will. But what I can tell you about this book, it is any of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy teaming up with another character in the Marvel Universe. And I think in a future issue, Gamora is teaming up with Nightcrawler. And then finally, Captain Marvel number 11. This is a Christmas issue that came out in December. And it really and it centers around Captain Marvel's young friend, who is pretty much the member of the Captain Marvel fan club, if you will. And I'm still a little behind on this book because the last issue I read was number 3. Alright, that's 7 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 6,733. Alright, now there's a reason I did doing this special report. Well, this special report within an episode of the Comic Hero Show, and it's this. With me buying books, it wouldn't be fair to y'all, the fans, if I were to buy a book and not let y'all know about it. Because, I mean, there's probably some folks who say, well, Vic, it's just a good show. You don't have to do that. Yes, I do. You see, I don't like keeping stuff. I don't like keeping comics I buy from y'all, because I know there is going to be at least a handful of y'all who are going to be keeping count, and I don't want anyone to be in my ear about it. So that's why I'm doing this. Besides, if I buy any books, y'all will know about them in some shape, form, or manner. Whether it be a special report, whether I'll just like take pictures of the book and then post it on Facebook or Meet Me or Twitter. Oh, by the way, and I might be joining another social network pretty soon. Just saying. But anyway, I don't like keeping books from y'all, because I know there's somebody out there that's probably keeping track of the number of books I have, just like I do. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this special report inside an episode. I'm Victor Nolly. I'm the Comic Hero. You know what? I'm not even going to say my parting words, because y'all still have an episode to watch. So show. Here we go! It's time to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Dudley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you once again from Clint's Comics here in Monroe, Louisiana. And if you can hear a little dissonance in my voice, it's only because I'd been a little sick for the past few days, and it wasn't until last night that I overcame it. The only downside of it was that it ended up robbing me of my voice temporarily. I mean, I went from sounding like... I tell you, after I had this voice, I ended up sounding like Michael McDonald's character Stewart on Mad TV, if y'all remember that. You know, that's the guy who went, "Hey, look what I can do." You know that, there.
Please be patient with me. God is not finished with me yet.
Yeah, I was sounding like that, but now my voice is a little raspy, which is, and I'm not going to try to yell or get mad or any of the other stuff that I normally do in any of my episodes. But it's still going to be a great episode nonetheless. So, I got to ask, any questions? Questions I walk around in. Questions I didn't crime in. Questions I will... Okay, I only have one question for this week, and it comes from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Now, this isn't really a question. It's more like his take on two characters going head-to-head against each other. He says, Leader 1 versus MODOK. Go. Well, Brian, you know, I wish you would have picked one Marvel character and one DC character for this. Then that would have been a reason to bring back DC versus Marvel, which is this old segment that I used to do, like when I did the Comic Hero show for the first season, like the first year I did it. I brought in DC versus Marvel. And you and anyone else want me to bring that back, or the Comicology 101 segment, or if there's anything else y'all want me to do with this show, please let me know. All right, you have to be very careful with this one, because you have the Leader 1, because both of them are both scientists. I mean, you have Leader 1, who is like one of the most intelligent people in the Marvel Universe. Then you have MODOK, who is, well, basically designed for killing. So it's basically brains and brawn against, well, very little brains, but a lot of brawn. First off, they can't be anywhere near people. Because if they're near people, people will die. You have to put them somewhere like in a remote area, like, I don't know, like the Mojave Desert, if you will. MODOK knows that there's only one real way of defeating Leader 1, and that's of sapping him of the gamma radiation in his genetic makeup. So that's what MODOK does. But then he ends up going. But then we find out that there's really no, and I found this out while reading Hulk. There's really no such thing as sapping the gamma radiation from Leader 1's genetic makeup, because you know what happens? He ends up powering up again, and that's what happens. And I'll talk about that in the next segment. But then just as MODOK is about to go for the kill, Leader 1, well, pretty much punches him in the face and tears off all four of his limbs until he bleeds to death. So, in my opinion, Leader 1 wins. Alright, if you have any more questions, for this segment, please, there's the information down there. Don't hesitate. Do it. Alright. That's it for any questions. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics. Alright, guys, as I was just talking about, I just got caught up with what's happening in the book in Hulk. And right now in the, I'm sorry, hearing Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, it makes me think about when the late great Junkyard Dog used to be in Mid-South Wrestling, and he used to come out to the ring to that song. But anyway, in the pages of Hulk, it's a story arc called The Omega Hulk. And what's happening is Doc Green, as he's like to be called, has found a permanent cure for gamma radiation. So instead of using it on himself, he looks for every character in the Marvel Universe who has ever been gamma powered. So his first he finds A-Bomb, aka Rick Jones, depowers him. Then his own son, Scar, and depowers him. And then his ex-wife, Betty Ross, depowers her. Now he tries to go after the Red Hulk, who of course is actually General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Couldn't fight him, because after all, this Hulk what makes Ross different from any of the other Hulks is that he can actually absorb radiation. Radiation actually makes him powerful. So what's better than a regular Hulk? A Hulk who can absorb radiation. And so he ends up going up against his Lyra, who is actually the She-Hulk from a parallel timeline. Well, he ends up sending her to some void dimension instead of sending. But he doesn't really want to depower. What he wants to do is send her back to where she came from. Well, and during this time, he's trying to figure out, like, where the heck is she? And then also, he breaks into the Gamma Corps' stronghold and depowers them. And they are very upset with Doc Green. And so it all ends with it. I got 5 words. I got 6 words for you. Well, no, 7 words for you. Doc Green versus Red Hulk, round 2. Woo! Whoa! I'm ready to read that. And also, I just got caught up with the pages of Batman, and there's this story arc called Endgame, where it talks about the return of the Joker. Well, the Joker starts off by poisoning some of the members of the Justice League with his gas. But this is a different kind of gas. With this one, there is no coming back. There is no coming out of this. The only way of beating this is death. And so, and though with the help with Alfred Pennyworth's daughter, they end up trying to figure out. They finally figure out the Joker is back, and Batman is actually going to go against them. But we find out that there actually is a cure for his gas, and that's actually some kind of something that it comes from the Joker's spine of all places. And so Batman enlists the help of other members of the Bat family, Red Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood. And get this, he also enlists the help of several members of the Rogues Gallery. And I'm talking about Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, the Penguin, Clayface. I mean, just when you thought. I mean, come on. If you enlist the help of some of the folks that you put into Arkham Asylum, something must be really wrong. But but number 40, which is going to be the last issue of the in-game story arc, comes out later this month, and I can't wait to buy that. Because from what I looked at some of the previews for DC, starting with issue number 41, and it suggests that Bruce Wayne is no longer going to be Batman. As a matter of fact, it's going to be some guy off in this huge cybernetic suit. So I just hope that doesn't suggest that Batman's going to die. Come on, because there's only one true Batman. We all know it's Bruce Wayne. I mean, there was no need of explaining. Okay, that's it for Comically Speaking. So then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Convergence number 1. Now this is the first issue of this miniseries that I keep talking about in Comically Speaking. And by the way, check this out. Love that. I love when these companies keep these double covers like those. Ever since I was a sophomore in high school, I used to think those were so awesome. And yeah, you go ahead. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were recording.
No, that's fine. No, you're good. Well, anyway, what's going on? I just read number 0, and it mainly centers around both Superman and Brainiac. And this takes place shortly after the Doom story arc, and the Superman is in this voided area, and the next thing you know, he finds Brainiac. But then he finds out it's not the Brainiac that he thinks it is, and he captures him and then leaves them on this deserted planet, like the scorched earth, if you will. And then Brainiac ends up showing like different variations of the DC universe, like all the Earths that, I mean, basically the multiverse. And not only that, Brainiac also shows him different variations of himself. Excuse me. And what's going on is, yeah, go ahead. Anyway, what's going on in this book is that Superman he's not a fool. He knows that none of these Earths is the New 52 universe. And then all of a sudden, and then when Brainiac finally got his head out of his behind, he finally realized, wait a minute, you don't belong to any of these Earths. Go away. And so, but then all the Brainiacs end up merging, and they ended up forming this guy. And this is going to be, and so what he's doing in this miniseries, he's pretty much taking every DC character in just about all the multiverses, and he's just putting them there and say, here, kill each other for all I care. All right, up next is Convergence Justice League #1. This is some of the variant covers that DC are doing for the Convergence story arc, because and one thing I failed to mention is that starting this month all the way through the end of next month, DC has stopped print of all their monthly books until June. But not all of them are coming back. Some of them that are coming back are Justice League, then Superman, Detective Comics, Batman, Action Comics, Supergirl, Wonder Woman. Some of the top sellers. Some of the because just like Clint was talking about a few episodes ago, there's some of them that aren't gonna be continuing, like Red Lanterns and the Green Lantern Corps. But I really don't. This is actually now that I think about it, this is like the Justice League of America, the previous volume of that from the original DC universe. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted because I'm hearing Nirvana's version of Man Who Stole the World. Man Who Stole the World, and it keeps making me think about back when I was in this ska band about a few years ago called Sanchez and the Symbiotes, and we did our own version of that song at just about all of our shows. Oh, by the way, since I mentioned Sanchez and the Symbiotes, I got to do this. Olé! Okay. But anyway, this is actually the characters from the previous volume of Justice League of America in the original DC universe. All right, up next is Convergence Speed Force #1. Now all the characters in this one, it consists of the Wally West Flash and his two children. I know one of them's name was Iris. I can't think of who the other one's name is. Dang it. Jay. That's it, Jay. And I mean, even though Barry Allen came back during the latter days of the original DC universe, I love these characters. I always loved reading about them. Of course, Jay and Iris are Wally West's son with Keystone City reporter Linda Park, and I tell you, I can't wait to read this because, like, this is like one of the fan favorites. Okay, go ahead. See, folks, one thing about me and doing this web series, I like to involve others, even if they're getting the shot, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Oh, by the way, name of my web series is called Comic Hero Show. It comes on YouTube every week. This is the 57th episode that I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, just the easiest way to look it up is just go on YouTube and type in Victor Nunley. Last name is spelled Nunley. Okay, up next is Convergence Batman and Robin #1. Now, this pretty much. I'm trying to think exactly which Batman this is. Is it Bruce Wayne or Dick Grayson? I want to say it's Bruce Wayne.
It
is, yeah.
Okay.
But well, I'll find out and I'll let you know more about it. But it's written by comic book legend Ron Mars and comic book art legendary artist Dennis Cowan. Now Dennis Cowan is responsible. He's one of the men responsible for Static Shock, both in the comics and the cartoon. And I can't wait to read it because I've always been a fan of this man's artwork, and I think this Convergence is going to surpass everyone's expectations, including mine. And last, Convergence Superman #1. Now, what's going on in this book? This talks about Superman in the latter days of the DC universe. Now, this Superman is the one who's married to Lois Lane. And what do we find out? What do we find out in this one? Oh, that Superman and Lois are expecting their first child. A lot of folks are there's been a lot of criticism about that. Folks are thinking, how in the world can Lois Lane, a human being, carry a half-human, half-Kryptonian child inside of her without the child accidentally using heat vision and killing her? I don't know. I guess you can put Lois Lane under a red song throughout her entire pregnancy. I don't know. But I can't wait to read this. I mean, I've been a long-time fan of Superman, no matter what Earth he comes from. Okay, that is 5 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 6,738. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and it's a little watered down, but that's only because I'm trying not to get all too excited or anything. But I just asked y'all pray that my voice heals, and I won't do anything that'll get me angry or outraged or Hulk out or anything like that. But if you have any questions or any suggestions you think that's going to make the show better, there's the contact information down there. And if you want a t-shirt, contact information down there. But I'll just let you know that for adult shirts, they are $10 in a blank tee, or $12 if you want me to buy the tee. And then for children, they're $5 in a blank tee, and $7 if you want me to buy the tee. Like this shirt right here, as y'all can see, it's inside the shield. It's a lightning-filled sky. Now, there's not really a theme to this. It's just that sometimes I have. There's a method to my madness when it comes to designing my shirts. Some have themes, some of them don't. And this one, you know what? I just saw this design and I thought, holy crap! And I thought, yes, I have to use this. So that's the whole motive for that. Okay, but anyway, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. See you next week right here at Clint's Comics. Till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero. This is a Comic Hero Special Report. I'm Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Now, between the time of episodes 56 and 57, the episode you're about to see in a minute, there were some books that I actually bought. 4 of them I bought from Books A Million Monroe, and 3 of them I bought from Second and Charles in Bossier City, Louisiana. And if you will give me this time... Dang it! This has been a FilmWays presentation. Blooper reel! This is a Comic Hero Special Report. I'm Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Now, between the time of episodes 56 and 57, the episode you're about to see now, I bought 7 books. And I bought them from outside of Clint's Comics. I bought them from... There's another one. Okay, there's only one question this week, and it comes from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Or it's not really much of a question. It's actually like my take on a certain head-to-head him putting 2 characters head-to-head with each other. You know, I need to do that again. That was awful.